Johnny Silverhand is the mascot of Cyberpunk. He's in every gig, he's in your head, shoot, he's yapping at every possible moment that he can. But here's the thing, while most players hear everything Johnny says, very few actually notice the little things that he does. And trust me dude, he does a lot. Am I right? He does a frick ton. Today, I'm diving into 6 hidden Johnny Silverhand details you totally missed, and a few might even change how you see him forever. Let's start with one that's been under your nose since the very beginning. 1. The Cyberpunk journal isn't written by who you think. In Cyberpunk, you can find a description for almost every damn gig in your Trapper Keeper. But here's the big question. Have you ever wondered who's really writing them? Who the hell is the invisible ink daddy writing these descriptions? Well, I'll tell you one thing, dude, it ain't V. In fact, it's someone you wouldn't ever guess. It's Johnny! And it's Jack. See, before the heist, all of the gigs are written by Jackie. Read them slowly and you can practically hear the Chicano seasoning in his voice. But after the heist, that torch gets passed to Night City's favorite terrorist, who doesn't shy away from adding in his own sauce.
Bastard! You bloody! You bloody!
On every gig, he'll proudly express his unfiltered thoughts and feelings, like your average parasocial Twitter stan. Some days he'll insult the Fixer, but other times, he'll address V directly. In All Along the Watchtower, Johnny leaves you a sad last message, one that make even Adam Smasher cry through his eye sockets. You've taken the final step to leave the stain of a city behind for good, and as you live out your last Cinderella moment, you'll reflect on Johnny's last words written to you.
I'll just be a voice on the radio recorded long ago. A fading reproduction, a flickering memory. You'll be someone completely different. Take care, V.
God, who keeps cutting onions whenever I talk about Cyberpunk? But Johnny's influence doesn't stop at the journal. He's also sneaking in his thoughts even when you're not playing. 2. Did you miss Johnny's hidden commentary? Another Cyberpunk detail you might have missed is right at the start of the game. Not when you first launch, but each time you load up your save. At the start of every game, you'll usually hear a recap of what's happened so far. Like this one from Yorinobu being pretty damn dramatic about his kidnapped uterus buddy.
New details have emerged on the attempted abduction of Hanako Arasaka at the Arasaka-sponsored Dashi Parade. Yorinobu-sama has since issued a public statement condemning the perpetrators' deplorable actions and promising swift retribution.
To those who raise a hand against the Arasaka family, I promise you, we will rip the hand off and pour salt in the bloody stump.
But here's an even bigger detail you missed. If you wait a few seconds after Yorinobu's done yapping, Johnny himself will appear and chime in.
Well, looks like the gloves are coming off.
And Johnny does this for many other loading screens as well, most times offering a blunt yet pretty damn insightful opinion on what to do, like gassing you up after Ruth Zhang states she can't take a cold burrito.
I can't stomach a cold burrito.
120 million eddies? Hot damn. And just to get your hands on one dude. You got some cojones, V.
It's a detail that everyone misses because we're so eager to get back into the game. But the most important Cyberpunk lesson? The best details can be found by slowing down and listening. But here's the real kicker. Johnny isn't just talking, he's changing V. And V, you might even be changing Johnny back. 3. Are Johnny and V becoming one? It's no Cyberpunk secret that V is dying. RIP, rest in peace. Dude has a digital terrorist living rent-free in his head, and he's still making the time to hang out with the Joy Toys on Jig Jig Street. Priorities, Choom. I feel you. But the sad part? V dying really is the entire game in a nutshell. An experimental relic gets jammed in your snook, and you're left with a parasitic rocker boy slowly replacing your mind. But what if I said something crazy? What if Johnny's not just replacing V? Dude, they're replacing each other. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. You'll find many instances of V acting like Johnny, from mannerisms and actions to sometimes the way they speak. For example, Johnny's a chain smoker. No, the lung cancer prone kind. And after you find Evelyn, there's a scene on Judy's balcony with a choice to smoke. But here's the insane part. If you do other gigs before this and let time pass first, V's already smoking, a sign of Johnny's personality slowly creeping in. But there's more. In an earlier gig with Bukako, V will drop this really weird line about poop sushi.
Anyone less experienced did just f it up.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. Now I'm sure it's a turd in crepe paper.
Super memorable, right? Like, what was that? But way later, Johnny uses this exact analogy.
Tell you once we're there. Movie was a turd wrapped in crepe paper.
The relic isn't just causing Johnny to become V, it's actually causing V and Johnny to converge into one, which means canonically, yes, V is also a bisexual. But Johnny ain't the only thing changing. In fact, the entire game changes how it looks when you become Johnny, and for a reason you just wouldn't expect. 4. This is the real reason for Johnny's UI color. In the past, we talked about many crazy cyberpunk details, from hidden character appearances to big perving on our Latin queen. Sorry, Judy, but hear me out. None compared to this one about my favorite rocker boy. In Cyberpunk, 69% of your time is spent playing V, 11% driving around, and 10% sitting at your desk crying to this view in Japantown. I'm not the only one, right? But that remaining 20%, you become Johnny, the metal-armed rocker who doesn't know what a filter is. And when you play as Johnny, the entire game shifts. The music changes, the game glitches, but more importantly, look at the UI. It's 2 chains, different. See, the UI changes from V's glaring red to Johnny's lime green and magenta. Seems like a normal gameplay feature, right? But what if I told you that it's more than just design? See, lime green and magenta aren't just random colors, they're colorblind friendly. And you know who happens to be a rainbow dropout? Yup, Keanu freaking Reeves, the breathtaking man behind Johnny's Silverhand.
You're breathtaking.
It's a detail that's stylistic, but also a nod to the game's real actor, and that's what makes it one of my favorite details in the game so far. But visuals aren't the only way Johnny becomes more human. Sometimes it's up to you to help him grow. 5. You can actually help Johnny become human. All Cunningham is one of Cyberpunk's most important characters. She's the one that helped create the device that put that digital terrorist in your head. And she's also one of the few beings in the Cyberpunk universe to be able to penetrate the black wall. That makes her pretty damn important. There's evidence she's planning something big for the sequel, but before she became this digital god, you know what she was first? Johnny's girlfriend. Forgiveness is one of the biggest qualities of being human. And what if I said that you can actually help alt forgive Johnny? See, Johnny wasn't the nicest guy around. I know, that's hard to believe. And in a flashback, you'll relive moments between the 2 lovebirds. This includes some leg locking, smooching, and Auntie Anne pretzel positions that would surely get me demonetized. But in these moments, you'll be given a choice. As Johnny, are you nice to Alt, or are you Chris Brown? If you chose to go wall to wall, Alt will be cold in her responses later on. She'll be more cut and dry, emotionless, and she won't even give Johnny a chance to apologize in the end.
You find this icy aspect in there too?
But if you're gentle, she'll soften up. She'll talk to Johnny. She'll hear him out. She'll even forgive him before parting ways.
Wait, just one other thing.
We don't have much time. If you wish to say something, say it.
Been told I absolutely suck at these, but maybe it's not too late for me to apologize. So, Alt, I'm sorry for what happened to you, for what happened to us. Well,
Yes.
In a game full of chrome and chaos, it's these small human-like interactions that matter most. These small, tiny ones. Johnny's fate might be set in stone, but his redemption, that's all you, Choomba. That's all you. And yet, it's no surprise that Johnny's full of surprises. Even a simple drink can tell you the man that he truly is. 6. Did you know there's an alcohol Johnny Silverhand actually hates? I know, crazy, right? Johnny's a liver daredevil. But the truth? There's actually one drink he'd rather toss than put in his mouth. In the gig Psycho Fan, Padre sends you to grab Carrie's guitar from a condo in Haywood. Apparently it was stolen by a crazy lunatic, a samurai superfan rivaling the stands you'd find on Twitter. But inside, you'll find more than just the guitar. It's a goddamn samurai museum. I'm talking posters, CDs, artwork, all the works. But something cooler happens when you scan the posters. See, there are posters showcasing some of Samurai's most iconic performances, and if you scan them, Johnny will chime in with some commentary. One in particular has him drawing blanks.
weird. Don't remember this one.
He doesn't remember the gig. Shoot, he doesn't recognize it at all. To which V jokes that he drank way too much vodka.
Must be all that vodka you sponged up over the years.
But Johnny, he snaps back.
Let's get one thing straight. I never touched vodka. Bourbon, whiskey, and tequila. That was my crowd.
Turns out, Johnny Silverhand's no fan of vodka. His party's bourbon, whiskey, and tequila. Hey yo! Hey, I feel it. And now we know even a man of rage and revolution also has good taste. So if you ever find yourself buying Johnny a drink, treat it like that one Call of Duty gig. No Russian. That was a pretty good joke, right? Come on, that was good. Johnny's brash, loud, and full of attitude, but if you slow down and pay attention, you'll find out he's way more than just a voice in your head. Let me know if there's any other cool Johnny details that I missed. And thank you again to all the subscribers, our new channel Chooms. Bro, I love you guys. Really, I do. Go ahead and follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Dude, we're definitely getting a 5-year anniversary update. 100%, right? I'm not crazy, guys. Stop saying I'm crazy.